Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ministry of Wrestling YouTube channel. My name is Double V, Nicolero the Viceroy of Verisimilitude, here to bring you your weekly rundown of TNA Impact. And as always, we had a fantastic show from the most underappreciated, but still one of the best wrestling promotions on the planet. Before we get into it, please, if you are fans of wrestling, then Ministry of Wrestling is the channel for you. Give the channel a subscribe, and if you like TNA, please do be sure to like this video and comment your thoughts on the most recent episode of Impact down below. I want to hear from my fellow TNA fans out there. But with all that said, the show started with the system coming out, with Alicia Edwards holding gold. Her and Marsha Slamovich had beaten Spitfire for Knockouts Tag Team Gold at Under Siege. Truly, this is the stable of the year. And they are looking like an absolutely unstoppable force at the moment. Moose mentioned how he's defeated the likes of Alex Shelley, Nick Nemeth, and House Hardy. Myers claimed that they're the greatest stable ever in TNA. Eddie finally praised his wife. That's not a shot at Eddie, that's more of a shot at how TNA have presented Alicia, which I've covered over the last few weeks. More of a love for Alicia. She's now got gold. Double V's a happy boy. And Alicia rolled a video which was interrupted by none other than Broken Matt Hardy. Ah, yes. Now, this was, as always, an absolute barrel of fun. Hardy gets into the ring with a steel chair. Balls of steel, man. I mean, he looks down the system, and he cuts some promos on them, essentially insinuating that this is not over until I obliterate you. Well done, Matt. Love the fact that you've got your gimmick back. Moose did warn Matt, though. There's 4 of us and 1 of you. Matt Hardy's reply, straight out of a Hollywood movie, which I give him all the credit in the world for. You're right. I don't like your odds at all. I do not like your odds. And Matt Hardy goes to town on the system. He got a few chair shots in. The numbers game obviously proved too much for him. You know, the system started getting a beat down. They were about to do the same spot on him that they did on Nick Nemeth, when who should show up? None other than Nick's brother, Ryan Nemeth. Now, this is great booking, considering that his brother was taken out by the system, and it does create an added layer of intrigue in this system storyline. Are Ryan and Matt gonna claim gold? Or is it going to be yet more people that the system defeats, thereby reinforcing their position as the stable of the year even more? What they've done with this booking here by introducing Ryan Nemeth and giving it the revenge scenario is they've created doubt, the cornerstone when you're going to a wrestling match. Doubt. Who's going to win? So well done there. They turned to them, and it did look like there was going to be a big stare down. And then, friends of the channel, Chris Bay and Ace Austin, were next on in a backstage promo. And yeah, look, I know people are now going to say, you got it wrong. Yes, I got it wrong again. I did say that at Under Siege, that would be the point where they split up, and I got it wrong. But the tension here between the two is blindingly obvious and is almost unpalpable. Because, well, I say that. TNA could pull a swerve on us here. They could be doing this breakup tease that actually never transpires and the gold ends up back on the ABC. That is a scenario that could happen. But unless TNA do pull the biggest swerve, there were some shots being fired here. Ace Austin firing shots saying, if someone had had my back at Under Siege, I would have won, which Chris didn't really respond well to, and then there was an immediate backtrack on that. And Chris equally, he was trying to dictate how the tag team operates. We'll worry about that later. And, Ace took it, but you could tell he wasn't happy about it. Put it this way. I enjoy being teased. I shouldn't have said it. I should not have said it. Moving on. First Class were out next against the FBI. Against FBI, I should say. Shout out to AJ. And with the highest of respect to FBI, who do their job brilliantly, this was just a squash to keep pushing First Class over. AJ landed a big choke slam. Rich Swann did his big frog splash, and they picked up the victory. And I was waiting, and I was waiting, and no Joe Hendry. And my life as a result of not seeing Joe Hendry in an AJ Francis segment, I was sad. I felt less complete. Where's my Joe Hendry? Not cool. But we move on. We then had the Rascals coming on, and they were in a backstage segment with Santino. Jake Something was there. Basically, all of them being like, "Yo, we're up for fighting. We need to do our thing." Cody Deaner joined, and anytime any of these guys are going to be paired together, you know it's going to be a lot of fun. And this was no exception. So we ended up, as always with Cody, in a situation where a stipulation is being presented to us, and I was eye-rolling here, and I was like, please not another street fight for like the 10th week in a row. Please don't do that. But it's fine. It wasn't a street fight, but it was a Tornado tag team match. Now, this really was a great match. It's one of the matches on the show, I would say. If you're not going to watch the whole show, please go and watch this. All sorts of fun. Some amazing tag team offense happened here, but those dang Rascals, boy, they did the spray paint on Jake Something. After some, as I said, some good tag team offense, they did the they did the spray paint on Jake Something. They then did their super kick to stomp combo. And the Rascals got the victory over Jake Something and Cody Deaner. They pick up the victory, and I'm happy. I like the Rascals a lot as a tag team. I'm not entirely buying into this whole Jake Something, Cody Deaner thing, but it's fine. I'm going to let it play out, but I do need to stop for Cody Deaner to do something else other than come out every week going, stipulation time. It's like, no, man, come on. Give me something more than that. What do we have next? Up next, done that. Up next, we had a weird segment. Friend of the channel, Ash by Elegance, was out along with Gabby AF. Now, this may sound ignorant. I apologize. I'm not going to lie. I don't know who the F Gabby AF is. And to be honest, as much as I love Ash by Elegance, I thought this whole segment was really forced. Pretty cringe, to be honest. They could and maybe should have done this just with Ash by Elegance, but I think Gabby AF is like some big podcaster or something, so, you know, alternative audience. I get the business thinking behind it, but this segment didn't work for me, reasons aside. Now, we found out that the elegance in Ash by Elegance is, in fact, a brand. A brand of what? Who knows? Why we needed this information? Who knows? This whole segment just went on for way too long. But it did have purpose, although it took too long to get to the damn purpose. But it did have purpose. Zaya Brookside came out, and we're going to have the rubber match between Ash by Elegance and Zaya, who have they've got one apiece now. And then finally, my guy was here. Say his name and he appeared. Oh, wait, no, Joe Hendry, he's not doing the thing on this week. Damn it! Joe Hendry was on Heart Radio. Now, it's great seeing him, and the fact that this guy's music has got as over as it has is such a testament to how much of a promo merchant this guy is. Like, I want nothing but the best in the world for Joe Hendry. I'm so happy that his music has found success. The interview that they aired was interesting, him talking about how people are absorbing his music when they're not wrestling fans. It was funny stuff. It's an amazing showcase of self-promotion. I love this man, although I want him more on my TV next week, please. Again, another backstage segment then followed with, we had, where is it? Where is my segment? No. Is this it? Yes, there we go. Santino Marella. My apologies for the image effery. So Santino Marella comes on, and he has a big son of a gun match announced for next week. The Champions Challenge. And this is going to happen next week. And seriously, just look at the talent on screen here. This is like freaking civil war in the MCU. I see my boy Joe Hendry there, so happy days. But all of these guys next week on TNA Impact we're gonna have this mass brawl. Can't wait for it. And to quote my boy Santino, he's a big son of a gun match. That has got me pumped for Impact next week. Then, Jonathan Gresham made his Impact in-ring debut. I say Impact. Don't be going on the keyboards now and being like, hey, he made his Impact this last week at Under Siege. Yes, I know. Televised Impact TV. This was his in-ring debut. And it's nice to see Jonathan Gresham being presented as a big deal, given how things in Ring of Honor ended for him. Sour. This was nothing really more than than a squash match. The presentation was good, and if you're going to get us to believe that Jonathan Gresham is a big deal, he has to be running over people. It just makes the world of sense. He's a big scary guy now. Though I have to say one thing. I gotta say, I think his finish is actually quite disgusting. It's kind of minging, to be honest. Like, it's one thing doing a mandible claw to someone. It's another thing misting someone in the face. It's a whole other going, spitting ink, whatever the substance is, spitting in your hand, then shoving it in another man's mouth, and then putting him in a mandible claw. It's kind of gross. I get the whole octopus squid ink thing, like, fine. But I'm not going to be able to ever say anything other than this finish. Gross. Like, ink, throw it in his face. Smear it on his face. Don't spit in your hand and then shove that spit in another man's mouth. It's kind of disgusting. And if that's not what they're doing, then well done in getting me to buy that's what they're doing. But to me, it looks like they're doing that, and I'm not here for that. It's just like, nah, man. Kind of gross. I mean, here it is again. Look. Ugh. Not cool. All right. Just before our main event, we had a video package with Gail Kim, who went to some sort of, I guess, holistic retreat to find out none other than Giselle. And I have been wondering, like, where she got to, and it's nice to see her back. Now, Gail did give a sly, we need to talk, which, okay, so colour me intrigued about what happens next. Do we begin to see Gail Kim managing Giselle? Is it just a kind of throwaway, hey, we need you to come back? I don't know. I like this pairing. I think it works. And then we moved on. It was main event time with Speedball Mountain versus the ABC. But of course, just before that, I say of course, actually, just before the teams came out, that dastardly Mustafa Ali came out. Now, just on a sly, with these teams involved, how was this match going to be anything other than freaking awesome? Ali did come out beforehand, as I said. Now, presumably this was to watch over proceedings. There's a lot of potential opponents for his X Division title here. And I gotta say, I absolutely adore the pairing of Trent Seven and Speedball Mike Bailey. They're such fun together. Trent's not quite a big man, and Speedball isn't quite, a high flyer. They're kind of nice hybrid athletes. I think they're fantastic together. And they are a fun tag team, but on a personal, come on, man. We just interviewed Ace Austin. That's link down below, and that's going to be on the channel in the coming days. If you're watching this before the interview releasing, we've got an interview with Ace Austin on the channel. Him and Chris Bayman, friends of the channel, how are we meant to vote against our friends? It's just not possible. The ABC, too sweet. Those are our boys, man. Now, not gonna call this spot for spot, but jeez, this match was good. Like, oh my word, this match was good. Had some high flying from Speedball, had some brilliant tag team wrestling from the ABC, some strength feats from Trent. But you know what? Ali actually made this match. Now, I've been saying for a while, I've had issues with Ali and his presentation. I don't entirely buy this politician Ali. Not really for me, but that doesn't mean that people don't like it and that it's not working. It's getting over. He's a champion. Good for him. But Ali actually did make this match. He was doing a lot of this kind of let's break up the tag teams by complimenting, like, oh, well done, Ace. Well done, Chris. Well done, Trent. Well done, Speedball. He was complimenting the individuals and kind of trying to push them over their team member to presumably break up the teams. Though, on a logical level, one has to say that doesn't make the world of sense, because if someone's in a tag team, they're less likely to come for his title. Him pushing them apart means they're more likely to end up as single stars, which makes him that much more in danger of having a title match against one of these guys who he's broken up. So, the logic here didn't work. Like, if you think about it, I don't want to have a match against you, but I'm going to break you up. And piss you off, which probably means we're going to have a match together, which I didn't want in the first place. The logic is all over the place, but it doesn't change the fact that this was a world of fun. Anyway, lots of spot fest here, as I said, in terms of strength, speed, etc. Ali did distract Ace Austin, and that led to the beginning of the end. Speeble Mountain took out Bay, and then they pinned Ace after doing a Burning Hammer Ultimate Weapon combo. I say it every week, and I'm going to continue to say it because I think it's coming. The ABC continue to look like they're going to fall apart, and that kind of summed up the show. Another really solid episode of TNA Impact. It's one of the hottest shows in wrestling at the moment because it's just consistently good. It has a bit of everything. Hot crowd, good promos, although again, shots fired at the Ash by Elegance promo segment here, that did not work. Some backstage stuff, some video packages, some really good wrestling, some character development. The show just has everything. So if you like TNA Impact, do give the video a like. I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. What were some of your highlights of this of Impact this week? Do let me know down below. If you want to see some of our interviews, there should be one of them floating around here for you to look at. Subscribe button down here, Ministry of Wrestling. If wrestling is your jam, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time right here on the Ministry of Wrestling's YouTube channel. I'm Double V, Nico Liro, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.